Most of the time people just see us, but really, we're the least important part of the whole process. There's so much more that goes into it.
You knew it was him. I mean, it was the best bank surveillance photo I've seen.
Getting there is half the battle.
You've got some history on this particular topic.
Yeah, I guess it was an anonymous caller that called in.
Certainly worth checking out.
She explained what happened. She was there.
3, 2, 1.
Thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. I'm Michelle DeSelms.
And I'm Christian Frank. First on Fox 17 News at 10.
People can see that it's not just Michelle and me sitting on the desk. There's so many other people working behind the scenes.
It's one of the big stories of the day.
How can we pull this out?
What was the sound that you heard again?
We're working on it.
3, 2, 1.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Michelle DeSelms.
And I'm Christian Frank. First on Fox 17 News at 10.
It's important to remember that what you do affects the people that you tell stories about. That's why it's so important to get it right.
The story's not about, they didn't know this guy. Nobody knew this guy.
There's some additional details in there that I don't think we reported originally.
I want to make sure I get this right.
A lot of times there isn't just two sides of the story. There's 3 or 4 sides. And you're not really doing your job if you don't get them all.
Here, 2 counts murder, 2 counts homicide.
3, 2, 1.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Christian Frank.
And I'm Michelle DeSelms. First on Fox 17 News at 10. Really, you shouldn't be doing the news if you're not concerned about being fair and being accurate.
We're here to find out what happened.
But I want to make sure I get this right. That's part of my job is to ask you to talk to me so I get it right.
3, 2, 1.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Christian Frank.
And I'm Michelle DeSelms. First on Fox 17 News at 10. There's always one more bit of information that we could get. We always like to make sure that we're on top of that.
I'll see who we need to talk to.
We'll go check it out.
The victims knew the suspects.
We are at I-96 in Plainfield in Grand Rapids tonight.
So you're saying someone leaked this information?
Do we have his name?
Why is something like this necessary?
That's the whole point, is just getting the whole story.
3, 2, 1.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Michelle DeSelms.
And I'm Christian Frank. First on Fox 17 News at 10.
The reporters are out hitting the streets, asking the questions that matter.
Were you scared for your dad when you heard about that?
So you kind of walk into these situations, we don't really know what we're going to get here.
95% of the day involves driving around and knocking on doors. We knocked on how many doors?
Countless doors.
Countless doors.
They connect him to a couple of armed robberies.
And the family doesn't want to do any interviews.
Is this all before that?
Here, the gun was loaded.
3, 2, 1.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Michelle DeSelms.
And I'm Christian Frank. First on Fox 17 News at 10.
Our focus is going to be getting the word out that there's something dangerous happening on the streets.
Police in Grand Rapids are searching for an inmate who escaped from police custody.
Police arrived on scene. This impacts a big neighborhood.
It looks like they may be about to catch him.
Where is that located?
When there's new information, when there's new facts, we're going to have them. We're going to have them when they come out.
We were there when the viewers needed us. We were live for the search, we were live for the press conference, and we were there when they got it. When there was something important, we had it.
Our focus is going to be getting the word out that there's something dangerous happening on the streets.
Police in Grand Rapids are searching for an inmate who escaped from custody.
This impacts a big neighborhood.
When there's new information, when there's new facts, we're going to have them.
We were there when the viewers needed us. We were live for the search, and we were there when they got it. When there was something important, we had it.
We've got to find the facts and make sure that you're right.
She told us where we could find this lady that was actually stabbed.
The next thing she knew, she woke up and she was in the hospital.
Talk to friends, neighbors.
What do you think when you see all this?
They've seen nothing, they've heard nothing. Who are these other drug dealers these kids are buying from?
What kinds of things have you done to prepare?
They've asked the kid to take a lie detector test, and we need to discuss what, if anything, we put on TV.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Christian Frank.
And I'm Michelle DeSelms. First on Fox 17 News at 10. When you're looking into a story, you have to ask questions that sometimes people don't want to answer.
Do you feel that these people have a right to be here?
They have to have a public hearing on this.
You ever heard of something like this before? Does it shock you?
Stand up and say, wait a minute, why are you doing this?
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Michelle DeSelms.
And I'm Christian Frank. First on Fox 17 News at 10.
watching the newscast tonight, they're going to be saying, what happened?
We eventually tracked down the daughter, who's really the linchpin.
Now let's talk about the 14-year-old.
He's going to be arraigned tomorrow.
Do we have his name?
Taking it and tearing it apart and saying, is that true?
They said that a lot of the neighbors had no idea this was going on. Well, we'll see if that's truth.
It opened up this, what else is he hiding kind of thing.
We have to ask him. He has to answer those questions. He may not want to, but he's got to answer them.
We don't want to report something that's not correct. We don't report anything until we have the facts.
We need to know more about this shooting.
What really did go on there?
If he wasn't forthright with this, what else was he not forthright with?
If they don't answer the phone, we got to show up. So we're going to go knock on some doors now.
It's people's experiences that will really tell this story, and listening to what they have to say, that's really what we want to hear.
We ask. We ask because we want to know.
What kind of a plan do you have in place right now?
Now that I'm talking to you, I'm hearing the whole other version of this.
This paints a picture like we've never seen.
Well, this guy was good. It took a little while to get him to talk about it.
We think there's something there, so let's go hear both sides and find out what's going on.
3, 2, 1.
Thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. I'm Michelle DeSalle.
And I'm Christian Frank. First on Fox 17 News at 10.
Okay, I just wanted to give you an update. It all started about 9 o'clock this morning.
You need to compare notes specifically what building it was.
They're still investigating that.
We said neighbors didn't know, neighbors didn't help.
I left messages. I went by the house several times.
No one was hit. No one was injured.
I'm not going to make this out to be a story. It's not.
People are going to be left scratching their heads wondering, well, how did that happen?
Paint a picture for us. What happened yesterday?
A lot of caution tape up. These guys wouldn't talk.
I'm trying to think of a way to further that story.
The police aren't talking.
He said off the record. He wouldn't give this to me on the record.
He'll give us more information. Then we have something to go on.
They won't tell us where it happened. So if you start hitting the neighborhoods and hit the streets, people probably know where it is.
3, 2, 1.
Thanks for joining us tonight, everyone. I'm Michelle DeSalle.
And I'm Christian Frank. First on Fox 17 News at 10.
Whenever something like this happens, people start asking questions.
We'll see what they have to say.
So this was planned.
He knew very little about the violence from last night.
We just got a tip on the house. Somebody take this phone.
I also learned this isn't the first time he's done something like this before.
We just get the information we have out there.
The big question is if is there a story?
What don't we know about this story that they know?
He'll give us somebody that's been a victim of this guy.
Then I think we got a pretty good story.
I got video kind of from a distance. Additionally, I talked to the medical examiner about more on...
He was involved with that car accident that happened last Sunday night?
How do you get the community involved to help stop the gang?
Property to be maintained. They've even asked that it be put in.
I want to hold on this shot a little bit longer until after.
Check audio, please. Make sure the IFB is set.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Michelle DeSalle.
And I'm Christian Frank. First on Fox 17 News at 10.
Told me that they see one of those once every 3 years or so, and it's usually...
We'd like to come out and talk to you so we can hear your side of the story on this.
So you were on scene. Walk us through what happened. Police tell us they found a car right along the roadside. There wasn't much evidence for them to go on.
I see sound full. It's rolling.
That story in a moment, but first we've got some breaking news to tell you about.
A raging fire destroys part of the building.
Certainly brings it back to light, and we want to take a look at it.
I'll see who we need to talk to.
All went home, we're given no explanation.
Well, you got to hit them pretty hard with it.
Who oversees this?
They weren't very happy to see us.
The guy's not talking.
That's the key interview.
They know what this guy needed.
So just minutes ago, you got a call. Share with us what you can.
Be conscious of where this is coming from. Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Christian Frey.
And I'm Michelle DeSelms. First on Fox 17 News at 10.
Additionally, I talked to the medical examiner.
They weren't very happy to
I'll
see
see who we need to talk to.
Properly notified.
New Orleans to help.
3, 2, 1.
It's First on Fox 17 News at 10.
Certainly brings it back to light, and we want to take a look at it.
I'll see who we need to talk to.
All went home, we're given no explanation.
Well, you got to hit them pretty hard with it.
Who oversees this?
They weren't very happy to see us.
The guy's not talking.
That's the key interview.
They know what this guy needed.
So just minutes ago, you got a call. Share with us what you can.
Be conscious of where this is coming from. Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Christian Frey.
And I'm Michelle DeSelms. First on Fox 17 News at 10.
Today may be a severe weather day. The potential for some widespread severe weather is certainly going to be there.
These are the showers and thunderstorms coming onshore through the late evening, but more importantly,
All full-size hail and damaging winds.
very intense storm there in the southeast portion.
It's going to be what hasn't formed yet that's going to get us.
I don't want what is indicated, I want what's been reported.
And that goes out to everybody. For them to know that, it helps them out.
We do have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. You can see some rather intense storms. Keep it here to Fox 17, and we'll keep you updated. This stuff's just going to start popping. Half-hour time, it just boom, went from nothing to severe storms. So that turning of the winds is what favors those supercell thunderstorms to develop. I'm going to have to do a cut in here, so get ready.
Peter Chan here now with an early look at the forecast.
And we do have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, and then a tornado warning has been issued. Arctic air is inching its way in our direction, so get ready for a blast of winter here.
They're going to start coming on shore, and it will be affecting our immediate lakeshore counties.
Not anything that would really restrict travel.
So the rush hour tomorrow is not going to be a pretty one.
It's still going to be the coldest air we've seen so far this winter season.
It's going to crank up the lake effect snowmaking machine. It'll be just enough to grease up the roadways.
And in our first look at the weather here, we are looking at some very heavy wet snow.
We've got more maps, more weather information, more data to take a look at so we can see what it is.
We have this winter storm bearing down upon us.
That will be affecting our immediate lakeshore counties. There's an Arctic cold front off to our north and west with a stronger upper level disturbance.
And we are going to be looking at heavy wet snow along with sleet in a narrow band. And that cold air is going to be heading south. Let's take a look now and see how that's going to unfold over the next couple of days. Temperatures to slowly fall here through the overnight.
So wind chills making it feel like upper teens to around that 20
To
degree
say
mark.
this very clearly, not everyone is going to see heavy snow.
Maybe less a few light snow showers. Nothing significant, nothing really going on in
Not a
West
whole
Michigan.
lot going on except over northern lower Michigan, and that is about
Less snow, really talking about very little in the way of snow accumulation.
Let's take a look at our first forecast as we head through the overnight
We've
hours.
had some snow around the area today, and it's really diminishing out there now, so we're just going to see some patches of light snow.
The snow that's moving in is not going to be a big deal, just about 2 or 3 inches through tomorrow.
Areas picking up 5 or 6 inches, but we didn't see anything quite that heavy here.
Coming up in the main weather forecast, we've got more maps, more weather information, more data to take a look at.
Another blast of colder air, and that's not it because we have more wintry weather on the way
Through the overnight hours, but we're not looking for anything severe. Where do we stand now?
Here comes the next batch of cold air that'll swing through here. It's a question as to how big the storm system will become and whether or not we'll
Some strong to marginally severe storms coming through the area. These started over in West.
You'll be able to see this next cold front will kind of blow through here.
Now, what does that mean to all of us?
That bigger batch of cold air that'll settle in here Saturday, there's not much with it. It's going to come through as a dry front, just bringing a little cooler air.
Let's take a look at our first forecast as we head through the overnight hours.
We are watching a cold front off to the west, temperatures to slowly fall here.
As we look at Fox 17 Future Track,
we should see some sunshine on Tuesday before another front approaches the region.
you can clearly see this storm beginning to unfold on the radar screen right now.
The weather timeline is all-inclusive for a given location. It allows you to see in a 24-hour snapshot how the weather will evolve, temperature will change, how the wind's direction and speed will vary, if clouds are increasing or decreasing, whether storms will be moving into the area. You're going to be able to see all of this unfold on this timeline. It's a very detailed graphic that allows people to have a good sense of how to plan their day. It gives the viewer the full picture. The other thing that's unique about the weather timeline is that it allows you to see in a 24-hour snapshot how the weather will evolve, and you can pick and choose which time of day is most important to you. I want our viewers to have the most detailed, accurate forecast available, and this is one way that we have been able to bring that to them.